told you I wanted to talk about trait leadership. Now, I think you have talked about it or will be talking about it. I guess school's almost over, so you probably talked about it. I thought I'd give you my big six, if you're interested in what I think makes a good leader today, because I think trait leadership and particular competencies are really key. And if you look at the competency framework that corporations use, it's changing dramatically, and you can see huge, huge change over the last 5 years, over the last 10 years. EQ absolutely has to be part of the leader. So if I'm interviewing someone, I am really pushing hard on EQ. And I might even start by saying to them, tell me the 4 dimensions of EQ. Person can't answer, thank you very much, see you later. So EQ and everything that EQ means, huge. And that's not just a soft, fluffy thing, that's a really key thing. It's all about relationships, it's all about networks, it's all about that stuff I talked about before, social network architecture and influence. So emotional intelligence, EQ. DMQ, decision-making quotient. Are you a good decision maker? How are you going to make a decision? Are you able to trust your intuition? Do you frame largely enough? You would not know this, but at the University of Chicago had the first Center for Decision Research. It is one of the unbelievably cool places to go. They have 2 Nobel Prizes in behavioral economics. What's behavioral economics? You should know, guys. You should know. Behavioral economics is why people do what they do to make decisions. In the leverage buyout crisis of the mid-'80s, I was living in Chicago, and the leverage buyout phenomena was a huge kind of prelude to the economic meltdown we had in 2008. We should have seen it. We didn't. We didn't learn. But the University of Chicago and several other universities now, you can get a PhD in decision making. That's how important this sucker is and what goes into making great decisions. The field is called behavioral economics. Amos Tversky, Daniel Kahneman are the 2 leaders. CQ, contextual intelligence. Contextual intelligence is sense-making ability, if you want to give it a more vanilla phrase. Do you understand the context? Can you make sense out of the environment? SQ, strategic thinking, sense shaping. Okay? TQ, an eye for talent. You're not going to be anything if you don't have an eye for talent. So there are leaders and people who are really good at spotting talent. Brian Burke is not one of them. Okay? And it's just shocking, but he has no TQ. Give you a quick little story here on Jack Welch. And I'm not a huge fan of Jack Welch, but there are a couple things that I really like that Jack says. He said, listen, if you were the CEO and you had a chance to hang out with one of 2 people, would you hang out with the CFO or the head of human resources? Now, most CEOs would say, well, hang out with the CFO. Okay? Jack Welch says, no, you hang out with the chief human resource officer. What do you want, to hang out with the bean counter? Or do you want to hand out with the person that understands talent? So on this, I think Jack Welch is absolutely right. Having an eye for talent, being able to judge talent, being able to interview properly, being able to look into a crowd, being able to sense from the way people carry themselves. Now, I'm not going to get into the discussion, is that learned or acquired? But I'm telling you, you want to distinguish yourself, develop your TQ, your ability to surround yourself with great people and spot great talent. The last one is LQ, which is your learning quotient. How quickly can you absorb? So EQ, emotional intelligence, DMQ, your ability to make decisions, CQ, contextual intelligence or sense making, SQ, strategic intelligence or sense shaping, TQ, talent, and LQ, learning, which is curiosity is at the heart of learning, and someone mentioned that a little bit earlier. That's my list of 6 things.